morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart, deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation startups, the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I greatly appreciate it. Now, today I want to talk about high trust versus low trust societies. And you've probably heard about high trust and low trust societies, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you the description of a high trust and a low trust society from ChatGPT, my buddy who I just asked, and I would like you to think about which one of these descriptions apply to your country, currently apply to your country, and maybe 10, 15, 20 years back, which one of these descriptions applied to your country at the time. So here's the description. Excuse me for reading this. A high trust society is one where there's a pervasive belief in the reliability, integrity, and ability of individuals and institutions. The rules are clear, and people believe that others will generally adhere to them. That means laws are typically not broken by people, right? People have confidence that if disputes arise, they'll be dealt with fairly and openly. An atmosphere of trust allows social, economic, and political activities to occur smoothly, promoting a sense of stability and security. This also encourages entrepreneurship and innovation, my two favorite topics, as individuals feel safe to take risks knowing that they're operating in a trustworthy environment. Now that's a high trust society. So after my description, I think you can picture that kind of society, right? Now here's the definition of a low trust society. A low trust society is characterized by skepticism towards institutions and individuals, and the belief that others are likely to behave in a dishonest or unreliable way. In these societies, people tend to trust only their closest friends and family. Interactions, particularly economic ones and business ones, are often characterized by extensive contracts and legal protections, and there's a pervasive fear of being cheated. This lack of trust can inhibit economic development, as people may be less willing to take entrepreneurial risks or invest in the community. Now, there's a clear difference between those two societies, the high trust society and the low trust society. Where do you think we were in America? I'm not sure what it's like in your country, but if you're living in America, where do you think we were and where do you think we are now? And what do you think is contributing? Because this is my feeling, is basically what's happening is that we are moving from a high trust society to a low trust society. And there's a ton of social, technological, societal factors that are moving us away from a high trust society to a low trust society. And why is this a bad thing? Well, a high trust society allows people to be entrepreneurial, allows people to take more risks, allows people to be more free and open with things, whereas a low trust society means nobody trusts anybody, and they keep very close to themselves, and they only give context to other people. So I'm saying, first of all, which kind of society would you rather live in? Would you rather live in a society where you can trust other people? Or would you rather live in a society where you can assume that everyone's a bad actor and you can't trust them? Now, if you ask me, America was founded on the first concept. It was high trust society. And it should still be a high trust society, but we're seeing that trust being eroded, and technology is eroding a lot of that trust. And I think one of the main reasons why technology is eroding that trust is because we can no longer get to the truth of anything any longer, because we are in between something and the truth. The truth is out there. X-Files reference. The truth is out there, but the chances of us being able to access the truth, to see the truth, to be exposed to the truth, is now filtered by so many intermediaries who want to promote their version of things. I mean, you might say, yeah, Chris, that's been around forever. Yellow journalism and the media has always been misinforming people, has always had an agenda, has always had a liberal or conservative agenda. They've always wanted to push some kind of story. They never wanted to send the facts. They never wanted to report things. They always wanted to send a story. So this is why these things are the way they are. But the problem is that with technology, with the internet, with our disintermediation from reality, this has become worse and worse and worse and worse. And we can't tell any longer what's real. And if we can't tell any longer what's real, then our trust level plummets. And if our trust level continues to plummet, then we're going to go from a high trust society to a low trust society. If we're going to all be dragged down to a low trust society, then who's going to innovate? Who are going to be the entrepreneurs? Who's going to take the risks? Where is the future going to come from? If we all sort of burrow into our homes and burrow into our communities and decide that we're going to not trust anyone, how can we possibly innovate? How can we possibly improve the lot of humanity? That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.